I apologize to anyone who watched this game and wasted their time because the Jets got embarrassed, outcoached, and outplayed. Once again, final score 32, Buffalo, 6, New York. Somehow the Jets take a step back again. Not only this time just on offense, but on defense. And the thing is, the Jets scored a touchdown, and still, the offense was worse today than it was against the Raiders. How crazy is that? And the defense got manhandled today. The Buffalo Bills, they did what the Jets should have done, is they made a change at play caller. Even though Ken Dorsey's offense was even though his offense was top 10 in some categories and statistics, the Bills still, they wanted to give a spark to their offense. They wanted to change philosophies, to change the turnover issues, to correct the reoccurring themes. Would have been some reoccurring themes for the Jets on offense. Penalties, bad offensive line play, no receiver separation. And the Jets don't make a change at play caller. No change at play caller. Yeah, Nathaniel Hackett's up in the booth, but he got worse. Mike LaFleur, he was better in the booth, but, Nathaniel Hackett, he just sucks. It's point blank. He's an awful offensive coordinator, and it's not like this Jets roster is helping him at all. The loss is on everybody today. Everybody. Truly everybody. Offense. F- once again. Special teams. F-. Defense. Maybe a D? I don't know. But the thing is, this team, I gave up hope last week. When we lost to the Raiders, I'm like, I'm not expecting a win, and I didn't expect a win today, and still, I find myself disappointed. At least today, finally, Saleh pulled the plug on Zach Wilson, but as you see, the issues are overall. It's the entire team. Boyle, at least Tim Boyle knew how to beat a blitz. I'll give him that, because if Zach knew how to beat a blitz, this Jets team could be actually decent, but he doesn't know, and he just cannot learn that. But Tim Boyle, you saw a little bit of a spark, but even at that, it's like, how much better do we get? That's up for debate. Who starts against the Dolphins? I don't know, but coaches, they let down today. Jets got outplayed. The Jets let their emotions get the best of them. Multiple fights. A fight after the game in the tunnel with Michael Clemens. Extremely undisciplined player. I'm sick of seeing Michael Clemens. He can go. Quinnen Williams wants to see him go too. See, the thing is, the Jets' problems, it's reached a boiling point. This team is collapsing as we speak. Like, legitimately collapsing, turning towards each other, getting mad at each other. Quinnen Williams was yelling at Michael Clemens on the sidelines. Fights are breaking out in the tunnel. Garrett Wilson is pissed off when he's open and he's not getting the ball. You could just see it. There's issues everywhere, and it's finally boiling over, and I don't even know what's been said in the post-game press conferences, and I don't even want to know. But I could tell you 3 things. Number 1, Joe Douglas, he has failed significantly this season with his personnel, roster choices, and how he has spent Woody Johnson's money. All 3 of those things have been an utter disgrace. Awful. Number 2, the Jets get outcoached weekly. Usually, the defense doesn't. Today, the defense got outcoached. Joe Brady, he exposed the Jets' defense. The Jets' offensive coaching staff, a.k.a. Nathaniel Hackett, he got outcoached. He was not creative enough to out-scheme the Buffalo Bills, to scheme guys open, because what's a tendency for this New York Jets offense? Guys are not getting open. So then how come the Kansas City Chiefs are so good at scheming receivers or even tight ends open? Why can't Nathaniel Hackett do that? I saw maybe one play where Nathaniel Hackett actually had great creative offensive scheme. That's about it. And then on special teams, outcoached. The minute, and I mean this seriously, the minute Xavier Gibson fumbled that opening kickoff, I knew the Jets were losing and it was going to be a blowout. You just know. You know it is one of those patented Jets losses. And then the third thing is quarterback. Jets quarterback issues, they loom once again. With Aaron Rodgers, a lot of it would be fixed, but the offensive line, come on. What a freaking embarrassment. They get manhandled weekly. Mekhi Becton, now injured. Great. Just when you think this Jets offensive line and offense can't get worse. Oh, it's getting worse. Don't you worry. We'll find a way to make it worse. So, This game was a massive waste of my time. It was a massive waste of your time if you're a Jets fan. If you're a Bills fan, congratulations. I applaud your team for having the cojones to actually fire a offensive coordinator who is not getting the job done, because the Jets are unwilling to do that. The Jets are about protecting feelings. At least today, Robert Saleh said, "You know what, Zach? I'm going to bench you," and it's been, it's been long overdue. You know what? I respect Saleh there. But this should have happened against the New York Giants. It should have happened against the Patriots. The Jets could be at 500 right now if Saleh pulled the plug on Zach Wilson in that Patriots game. But he didn't. And the Jets are, the only reason Nathaniel Hackett is still on this team is because of Aaron Rodgers. I don't care. Listen, I know this may sound disrespectful, but I don't care that it's Aaron Rodgers. This Jets offense is historically bad. It is one of the worst in the NFL on third down conversions in NFL history. I don't care how good of friends you are with Hall of Fame and most talented thrower of the football ever in Aaron Rodgers. I do not care. He has got to go. Saleh has to prioritize the team and winning football games, and it is clear and obvious to anyone with a brain that Nathaniel Hackett is why the Jets, or at least he has a major hand in why the Jets are losing football games. Because all we need is a competent offense. And the defense, they play lights out week in, week out. It was only a matter of time before they would finally, they'd have a bad game. And the offense, we just can't pick them up, ever. We just can't do it. So, a report came out Rodgers was going to try and come back this season during the Commanders game, which I'm actually going to be going to. Well, he has no reason to come back, and if I were him, I would do anything to not come back. If I'm Saleh, I am blocking Aaron Rodgers from returning to the football field. With this offensive line, it is an utter disgrace. But I'm going to be honest, Woody Johnson needs to seriously evaluate the rest of the season. He needs to be extremely critical of Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh, because if the Jets have a losing skid to end the rest of the season like last year, that is a problem with coaching, and it's a trend. And with the trend, it's just going to happen again and again and again. And then you need to make a move, and you need to fire him, and you need to move on. I don't care about Rodgers. I'm sick of protecting him. He can deal with it. He's a veteran. If he isn't emotionally mature enough to handle parting ways with coaches that have got to go to increase your chance of winning, then, I don't know. You got to do what's in your best interest for the team, and that's winning football games, because right now the Jets are a laughingstock again. Again, more so than last season, too. That's what's crazy to me. And Joe Douglas, his seat is scalding hot, in my opinion. If I'm Woody Johnson, I'm firing him. I could go on a whole tangent, and I will just briefly tap into it, because I know this is long. I don't even know if anyone's watching this still. But Joe Douglas failed at quarterback. To get a competent backup quarterback, I'm not saying Josh Dobbs would have the Jets undefeated since Rodgers went down. I'm not saying that. But the Jets would have definitely won 2 or 3 games that they've lost this season with Josh Dobbs. That would be the case. Joe Douglas failed at offensive line. Joe Douglas constructed an offensive line that is extremely injury-prone. And what have we seen? They're extremely injury-prone. That's why we have 12 different starting combinations on the offensive line this season, or just a ridiculous amount. And you can't even, as a coach and as Joe Douglas, you can't say, well, we've had so many different starting combinations on the offensive line, who are we to expect that? Well, players have injury history, they have injury tendency. That is on you as the builder of a football team to prepare for that. And that lies on you if you go into the season constructing a roster built of players who are very injury prone. The consequences from those players getting hurt lie on you. So Joe Douglas, he failed there. Wide receiver room besides Garrett Wilson, no one's getting open. No one. And you know what? Xavier Gibson probably should have been benched from returning punts after he fumbled the opening drive. If only we had a quality kick returner, a Pro Bowl punt returner, maybe a first-team All-Pro returner, McCole Hardman. Just saying. Joe Douglas, I would consider firing him. Alan Lazard, I'm sick of him now. I'm so sick. I'm not even going to go on a rant. I'm sorry that I don't have my setup. I'm back home right now. I'm sorry that I'm not yelling. I just feel defeated. I feel drained of energy. I feel devoid of any hope. And the Jets, 4-6. Yikes. It's going to be a lot of interesting conversations from Jets fans, and I really hope the media grills into Robert Saleh. It's about time. So let me know, Jets fans. Jets are playing on Black Friday. I hope to get a video out, maybe 2 before. And yeah, let me know what you thought about this disgrace of a game. And please let me know in the comment section down below what you wish you would have spent your time doing instead of watching this ugly game. So I'll see you on the next one. Peace.